Hello everyone! Welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Sel and I post videos about adult coloring and art. In this video, I'm going to show you how I coloring books using kids crayons. These are Silky Crayons in jumbo version. I got these crayons for my daughter who is 2.5 years old. These are jumbo crayons, so they are going to be pretty difficult to maneuver on smaller details, like on this image that I chose from Gabby Wolf's Mini Mania 2. Silky crayons are very soft, almost like soft pastels, and they are very crumbly as well. So you can see that there's already a crumble that fell on the page, and this is because I borrowed this from my kid. So after she uses it, it's usually very messy. So how I can save these crayons, these crumbles, is I just put this on my palette and mix it with a little water, squish it around. Sometimes bigger crumbles will work better than very small crumbles like this, but I still like to save every little bit of crumble, even though these crayons are really not expensive. The method of squishing the crayon on the palette and then picking up the pigment from the palette using a brush and then applying it on coloring book works using these crayons. These are very pigmented. But I think that applying the crayon directly on the paper is still better than this method. And now I'm showing you the method of picking up the pigment directly from the crayon using a brush. And this is a darker green or a true green color that I'm going to use to create a gradient for our leaves. Now, the reason I'm doing this is just to test how pigmented the color will come out using this method. And because the leaves are very small, this is the ideal application. Now I'm applying the crayon directly on the paper. These crayons are really lovely because they have a super soft feel. They remind me of the gel highlighters that used to be popular many years ago by Sharpie, except that instead of gel, they've made it into this solid crayon type. Obviously, the flowers are very small, while the tip of the crayons is large, so I can't reach the edges of the crayons, or else I'll go outside of the lines. So I'm going to use the brush to just spread the crayons to the edges. And now I'm using a pretty purple crayon. The 12 colors in this jumbo crayon set is not ideal for me. It's lacking important colors like white, brown, but aside from that, I really like these crayons for my child. I'm going to color the rest of these flowers, and I'm going to have to speed you up for that. Enjoy the relaxing music, and I'll come back when it's time to color leaves and everything else. Now it's time to color all of the leaves, and the plan is very simple. It's just to color the leaves with two colors, the yellow-green color and the truer green color, just to add some interest. You can see that it's very hard to stay within the lines of the leaves because of the tip of this crayon. But it's also like using oil pastel, right? You're not really concerned about the exact shape of the leaf, it's just the idea that there's a leaf there. And I think that's what makes coloring with these crayons fun is you're not intended to make it perfect. You're I can make it a painterly style with just crayons. I tell you, coloring with silky crayons is like applying butter on warm bread. It's that satisfying. Now, this is the fun part. It's the spreading of the crayons with water. You can see on very, very close up how really the colors are outside of the lines and it's a big mess. But don't worry about that. We're going to fix that with a background at the end. Just appreciate right now how fun and nice it is to use crayons, like cheap crayons, and blend them out just like watercolor. We're going to change tracks at this point so that I can show you how I use these crayons to color larger areas. This is another page from the same book, and here I'm drawing clouds that I will color around. I'm using a light hand to color the sky, but if you press hard, you're going to be able to achieve that effect of full coverage on the paper. You're going to cover all those white spots on the paper, and it's very, very satisfying. But since I'm just borrowing this from my daughter, I'm going to save the color or the crayon so that she'll still have some blue on her set. Kidding aside, I'm using a light hand because I plan to spread this color around with water, just like I showed you with the smaller details. Now that I've covered the area with sky blue, let's use a wet brush to spread the color around. Again, using a very light hand, using very little water on my brush because this paper is absolutely absurd. It's cheap, very thin paper, so it will buckle really, really fast if you use just a little bit more amount of water. Try not to go around the same area more than a couple of times because it creates peeling at the same time. The blending is not as smooth. These work just as well as those eye crayons, except that the blending is not as smooth. Now let's try to color the facade of this flower shop. This color is the closest to brown that this set offers. It looks like yellow ochre, but it serves as the set's brown. And there you have it. I think this color works well on this building. The roughness of the color, the roughness of the application works well as a building facade. Now let's go back to our original coloring page. My idea is to create a spring background, so a blurred spring background. So lots of greenery, green grass, some trees in the background, but very, very blurred. And let's add some bokeh, like little white circles, just to make it dreamier and more charming and serene, peaceful, to honor this very cute image from Gabby Wolf. I hope you enjoy this process. I, for some reason, I wasn't able to film the middle part, where I was creating the bokeh inside of the circle frame. But I hope you still get the gist of how I created this. It's just basically creating circles by negative space. The white spaces could have been bigger. I could have made them bigger, but I think overall it ended up all right. Thank you so much for watching. And if you like this video, please do like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Please leave a comment on what you think about this coloring with crayons, and if you tried it, are you going to try using silky crayons and use them like watercolor crayons? Let me know. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much again for those who have subscribed and those who comment. You're very, very sweet. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye!